What's going on, you guys? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and this is my girl Really BTV, and we're here to see who was wrong. Once again, shout out to Josiah for that theme music and every damn thing else that went on with
Oh,
it.
that's
Shout
JoJo.
out to Josiah. He did all that. He did all that. He is the creative force behind this platform.
Yes,
So
he is.
For today's Who Was Wrong, we're talking about Married to Medicine's Heavenly and Mariah, and this feud was chosen by none other than my guest here, Really BTV. Now, before we get into the situation at hand, can you tell me and the people why did you choose this particular reality TV feud out of all the ones that was on the list?
So I chose it because first of all, I watched Married to Medicine and I was late coming into Married to Medicine, so I didn't watch it from the beginning. But Mariah and Heavenly have such big personalities on the show, and their feud because of their personalities were absolutely hilarious. Like, like this some of their interactions are, their back and forth were just epic. And you know, Heavily good for saying your mama to somebody, and Mariah was offended because her mama was on the show, and it was just a whole thing. So for me, it stuck out as a feud that I don't think a lot of people paid a lot of attention to, but it definitely was a major part for a couple of seasons on Married to Medicine.
Okay. So I would say that Heavenly came into the show in season two. She came on
Yes,
the show season two, ruffling feathers from the very beginning.
from the beginning, child.
Um, I would say at the beginning she was ruffling Jackie's and Simone's feathers first, and
Hmm.
then she trickled on down to Toya, saying that she wasn't intelligent. Then she trickled on down to the white girl Jill, and they got into it. And then ultimately she got into it with Mariah. Now, let's just keep it a book here. I don't like now one of them. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't like now one of them. Okay, so it ain't really no side for me to take. So this is going to be completely unbiased because I don't like neither one of them. Both of them irk me. Both of them have a superior complex about themselves. I don't like now one of them. Okay, so I would say that the beef between Heavenly and Mariah started around season 3 or 4. I want to say
Okay.
4. Um, and to be honest, I really can't say how it started.
Honestly, I think it was probably something as simple as Heavenly probably saying something like Mariah saying something and Heavenly saying your mama. Because I remember that was a big thing between the two of them because Heavenly was quick to say your mama. And again, Mariah was very offended by the your mama stuff. And I know that turned into a really big deal between the two of them. Heavenly, Heavenly just, you know, I like Heavenly. Let me say this. I do
Oh,
like
you
Heavenly.
would, child.
I do like Heavenly. But she grew on me. She in the beginning, I ain't gonna lie. When I was like, what the hell? She grew on me. But now I do. I love me some Heavenly. And the thing about Heavenly is Heavenly just say whatever. She just say whatever she gonna say out her mouth. And when I feel like there was times when she didn't have nothing else to say. So when she don't have nothing else to say, she just would say your mama.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, that bothered Mariah. Like that really, really irked Mariah. That whole your mama thing. That just really stands out to me. Now, how it actually started, child, it's reality TV. It probably was something that was real little. I remember how it ended though. That last season, Mariah came in because remember she had left a season and then she came back. And when
Yes.
she came back on 20 coming for Heavenly. And I think it was probably like episode 2 or 3 of that season where they were having an event, some like dominatrix event or something like that. And I remember Mariah came slanking in there, honey, talking about Dr. Damon cheating on Heavenly and
Mm-hmm.
that she had receipts. And that was the thing the whole season was her alluding to the fact that Damon was cheating on Heavenly. and that she had proof and she had receipts. And she even showed up at the reunion. Talking about, I got the receipts right here. She had an envelope, they right here. And she ain't never say nothing. And then she was off the show. She never came back.
My
So
pro-
go ahead.
my problem with both of these girls
Oh
is
Lord.
no, because I don't like them. I don't.
I see.
I don't
I
like them
see.
at all. Like
But
at
what
all.
Heavenly do to you?
Heavily is a rat because she always squeaking all the time and always got something to say about somebody all the time. Then she laughs at it. And then she's supposed to be friends with these people and she talk about them like a dog on her lives. And when they
Listen,
confront her about it, she don't give a damn. She
she
thinks
really
it's
don't.
okay. And why would any of them want to be friends with her? But yet it seems to me like they let Heavenly get away with so much shit. But when it comes down to this other superior motherfucker, which is Mariah, anything she do, she gets crucified for it to me. Even though sometimes she deserve it. But still, they don't say shit to Heavenly, but they
But they
always
do. That's the thing. They do say stuff that this whole season. I don't know if you're watching this. This whole season was about Heavenly and her YouTube channel. The problem is Heavenly don't care. She doesn't care, and she told them point blank she ain't gonna stop doing her YouTube. And her justification on her YouTube channel is, I only talk about what we talk about on the show. So if you don't want me to talk about it, don't talk about it on the show. But she can't seem to get through the fact that even though I might bring it up on the show, I still don't want you, quote unquote, my friend, regurgitating it and adding your sauce to it. And I think again, I really think that was the thing with Mariah and them, Mariah and Heavenly, is that no matter what Mariah said or did, like you said, Heavenly would laugh. She probably would, cuss her out, and then she would go on about her business, and it just doesn't. Nothing phases publicly, because I think privately stuff do bother her, but publicly, Heavenly just don't give a damn.
you don't see nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say nothing wrong with it. Listen, I don't agree with it. Me and Heavenly probably couldn't be friends on a show like this. Now, probably in real life, she probably a real good friend. But it's no way in hell I could be friends in real life with Heavenly and be on this show at the same time. I just couldn't do it. It's no way I could do it. Because like you said, I just couldn't. Because these people have told you that it bothers them. Like just like I know I keep going back to the your mama thing, but just
Uh-huh.
like they told her, Heavenly, stop saying that. That bothers us. And she did. Well, what's the big deal? I just said your mama, your mama. It's just a big deal. It's no problem. It's like, but we are telling you that it bothers us. So out of respect for us as your friend, can you just stop?
But she doesn't have any respect for them as her friends. That's the part
Do you
that's
think she's
was
just making
bothering.
good TV, or do you think that's really who she is privately?
I mean, she can make good TV without being disrespectful to her so-called friends. That's my whole thing.
I guess. I guess. So you feel like who you feel like Mariah came for, because we don't know, we really don't remember who started it, but who came for who the hardest? Who do you think came at who the hardest? You think Mariah came at Heavenly harder, or Heavenly went at Mariah?
I think they went at each other quite hard on each other. I don't think one went harder than the other one. Honestly, I don't. Because just as hard as Heavenly gave it, Mariah gave it just as hard as she
Yeah,
did.
and that's what I'm saying. I think it was pretty evenly tit for tat. Like I don't feel like there was anything more, like you said, anything more given on one side or the other. I think it was pretty evenly doled out.
So, in your opinion, why do you think they can't get along?
Because of Heavenly. If I'm being honest, listen. Heavenly, she has no cut cards, and she does not care. And I think that at a certain point, like, do I think Mariah really had dirt on Dr. Damon? I don't think so, because I feel like it would have come out by now if there was really something there. But I think she was so frustrated and she was so tired that she was like, what's the one thing I can do that might get Heavenly to shut the hell up? I know I'm gonna attack her husband, because everybody know how she loved her some Dr. Daddy. And that still didn't make her stop. Like, it still didn't shut her up. So if I had to blame somebody, I mean, I hate to say it, because Heavenly, I like my girl Heavenly, but Heavenly. Now I don't know who started it, but I know Heavenly didn't help try to resolve it and end it. Now I'm gonna say that.
So you don't think that it's a personality thing because they both have strong personalities and they're both alpha females and they both have similar attributes about each other.
I I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think that, but for the show, I don't even think they would move in the same circles. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I don't think that their personalities would have them in this moving in the same circles in Atlanta, but if they weren't on this show together. Now I do know that they knew each other prior to the show because a lot of people don't know that Heavenly was at Mariah's house the night of that infamous fight with her and
She
Toya
definitely
season one.
was. She definitely was. I
So
remember
they
that.
were they were friends, professionally, I think through their husbands, but them both being alpha females and stuff. I don't know. I just because Mariah is sneaky. Like I don't want to make it seem like Mariah is sneaky and Mariah be throwing digs and Mariah act like
Definitely.
she act like she better than everybody else. So I just think
Definitely.
that right, and I think that that's why Heavenly is like, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna make me feel like I'm less than you, or you're not gonna look down your nose at me. And I think there's a part of Heavenly that doesn't have the same level of respect for doctors' wives as she does for doctors, which is the reason why she can't get along with Toya. But her and Dr. Jackie are cool, and her and Simone, well, they had it up and down, but they cool. You know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
think there's a different level of respect that she gives as well, honestly.
Okay, so the your mama thing, because that has been a big issue with Heavenly and Mariah. So, do you think that Mariah is well within her rights to feel a way about her saying the yo mama thing? Because there has been a complete debate about this, even when Candace was saying it on Real Housewives of Potomac. Some people were saying what Dr. Heavenly said all the time, and y'all don't say nothing to her, and all this other stuff. So it's kind of like, okay, do you think do you think that Mariah being upset about it is a big deal? Or do you think she got every right to be upset about her saying the yo mama stuff?
This is what I'm gonna say about the your mama thing. I think that we have friends who have quirks about themselves, right?
Yes.
And when you know that your friend, and that's like a thing that your friend does. Like for me, everybody a bitch. I'd be like, bitch, bitch, bitch. But
Right.
there's a difference in me doing that and me calling somebody a bitch. I think with Dr. Heavenly, like I said, yes, it's a problem. I see it from both sides. If you, as my friend, I'm telling you, look, that really bothers me when you call me a bitch, then I'm gonna be conscious about it and I'm gonna try my best not to do it out of respect for our friendship. But on the flip side, because you know that it's just something I throw out, don't make it a damn federal offense when we're arguing and I be like, your mama. Like, I don't mean it. We've had the conversation. I'm just throwing it out there and I don't mean it no kind of way. Like, come on, we're not 5 years old on the playground. We 50. I said your mama. It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, it definitely
Hmm.
ain't deep enough for y'all to be carrying on like a whole season full of arguing over the fact that I said your mama. But I do see both sides of it. If I tell you as a friend that bothers me and you make no effort to try to curb it, you know.
I mean, because I definitely understand the part about the bitch thing, because I say bitch quite often.
You
Everybody's a bitch.
do. You
A
you do.
person, place, a thing is a bitch.
You
Everything
be
is a
calling
bitch.
you called me a bitch before.
I ain't
I
called
was
you no
quite
bitch.
yes, you have. I was quite offended.
You girl, I ain't about to call you no bitch. Stop
You
lying
did.
to people. You just girl, we know you lying now. Anyway, like I said, so there have been people
See, now
that
you're
have
being
told
dismissive.
me
Okay, Heavenly.
that there have been people that have told me, well, Scotty, I don't like the bitch word. I don't like the bitch word. I'm like, okay. And I don't call them one. Or it's just like when gay guys call women fish or whatever. We don't mean
Right,
nothing negative by it. There's some women that don't care about being called fish. But if
right.
a woman tells me, don't call me that, I don't really like that, don't call me that, then I ain't gonna call you Like it's just that simple. Like if you don't want me to say it, then I'm not gonna say it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And
Like
I just
that's
feel like even though Mariah and Heavenly weren't, I don't think they were ever really friends. Like I really don't think they were
no.
ever truly
They never got
friends.
a chance to be friends.
But we are co-workers in this space. And if I tell you it bothers me, then I feel like you should have that much respect. But like I said, it goes back to what I said about Dr. Heavenly. I like Dr. Heavenly, but because I feel like Dr. Heavenly really does not respect people's feelings, at least on the show. I can't say privately because I don't know her privately, but publicly on the show, she really doesn't care. And I that's not somebody I would choose to be friends with in my personal life because as my friend, I need you to give a damn that you're hurting me. Like I need you to care. And the
Right.
other thing with Dr. Heavenly is she will apologize, but then she'll do the same damn thing next week. So it's
That,
like
that's
I'd
the
rather you
problem.
keep your apology if you don't mean it, because clearly you don't mean it because you haven't changed your behavior. You know, the best
Yeah.
apology is change behavior. If you don't change your behavior, ain't no need you apologizing for shit.
I really feel like Helen and Mariah never got the chance to be friends. I feel like
Probably
the situation with Quad and Mariah, that's when Heavenly first came on. When Quad and Mariah were
fell out.
beefing and she came into the picture and she ultimately, in a sense, took a side. She took Quiet's side, to be honest. That's the way it looked to me. Like she took, or maybe she just sided with what she felt was the hurt party and who wasn't. You know what I mean? Because I think with her coming in as a new person, she shouldn't have done that. Like took a side. It's like the same thing with Wendy and Monique. She came in as a new person, but she immediately took a side in the situation, and I don't like
Mhm.
it when people do that. So I don't think that Heavenly and Mariah ever had a chance to be friends. Like they never got the chance to really build no real friendship. And then on top of that, because Heavenly mouth is ridiculous and Mariah's mouth is ridiculous, they were never gonna be cool.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that 100%. Like, I just think, child, I just think if Mariah was still on this show, I just feel like they'd still be arguing. Like,
Yeah, they would definitely still be arguing.
I don't
Like
see that. I don't see no truths ever happening. I just didn't. I don't.
now, one of the last things that happened with Heavenly and Mariah was the whole receipts thing, which you mentioned earlier. Do
Right.
you think that Mariah really had receipts on Damon?
No. Mm-mm. And I'm gonna tell you why. Couple of reasons why. Number one, she had him at the reunion, and when have you known Andy to not let somebody expose their quote unquote receipts on a show? Now they may not, they may have edited it out, but I don't think it happened and anything was edited out because like I know, Mariah would have already sprayed that, especially when she didn't get asked to come back to the show. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Mariah would have put that out. I feel like if she really truly had receipts on Damon cheating on Heavenly, she'd have put that out, and I feel like Andy would have let her say it, whether they were real or not. I feel like Andy would have let her say it, and um, I feel like other people on the show would have known about it, and I don't remember. I mean, maybe it was said and I missed it, but I don't remember anybody else on the show saying, I saw those receipts." I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember that happening.
I feel like I just
What?
I don't I don't want to think that Mariah was lying about having receipts, but in the same point, it's like, girl, if you got receipts, why don't you put it out? You hate this woman guts. Why won't you put them out? Like,
and
why
I
mean you got receipts and you don't put them out?
and Scotty, you've looked at enough reality TV to know that if somebody really truly has receipts on something, especially something that explosive, if even if you don't put them out yourself, you know that there's a way you can get it out there. You
Right.
can say it in a conversation that that they're while you're filming, you can slide it to a blog. Like there's ways for stuff to get out there. If Mariah really true, the only thing I would say is that maybe Mariah had it and she was like, you know what, as much as I don't like her, I just can't ruin a happy home and I'm gonna walk away from this. But I just don't think Mariah was mature enough to do that. I don't.
Because I feel like if she really had receipts, she would have just put them on out there. The same way
Absolutely, I
she
believe she would have put them out
claimed
there.
that Quad slept with her sister's husband, and she was quick to go live and talk about it. So my thing
She
about it
talked
is
about that. She was real quick to put that out
she
there.
was real quick to put that out there, and that was actually her friend at one point in time, which I
Best
still don't
friend. They was
because
besties,
his
child.
best friend was in the one was they was in like in weddings and shit. Like that whole thing. This
Child,
ain't
they
even
was
about
finishing.
choir.
Listen, you go back to season one. Her and Quad were finishing each other's sentences, child.
Yes. So it's and we talked about Quad and Mariah on the last Who Was Wrong. So I don't even want to go into all that. Cause baby, like
That's a
anyway.
whole, you know what? I'm gonna have to ask you about that later, but that's a whole that right there was a whole thing too, because that was a mess.
It was. It was. I just feel like when it comes down to it, I think that well, I guess when I boils down to it, who was wrong? Heavenly, Mariah, or was it a draw?
I'm gonna say a draw because I feel like they gave it to each other pretty good.
That's
I
how I
don't
feel
feel
too.
like I don't feel like Heavenly beat up on Mariah, and I don't feel like Mariah beat up on Heavenly. I feel like they just went tit for tat, and neither one of them would give up. Neither one of them let up. I feel like if Mariah was on this show, they still be going back and forth, child. They still be going back and forth.
That's how I feel too. I feel the same way. I feel like that it was a draw. They both did bullshit to each other. They both said foul shit to each other. They both gave it as
Hmm.
well as the other one did. And there is no victim in this, honestly. I think they
I
were both
agree.
wrong. They were both wrong.
Listen, fair exchange ain't never been no robbery. Ain't nobody, no, there's no victim in this situation. Heavenly and Mariah, both of them mouth is lethal. Both of them say some foul shit. Both of them are nasty when they want to be. And it just was what it was. And again, Mariah has been very quiet the last couple of years. She hasn't really said a lot that I know of. I guess there's the feud is over. Thank
Well, with that being said, before we get up out of here, really be why don't you let the people know where they can find you and what do you do on your platform?
you so much, Scotty. They can find me at you can find me at Really BTV, the way it is written on the screen right there. I do celebrity news and gossip. I do television reviews, a little bit of drama reviews, a little bit of reality TV reviews. So I do mostly housewives stuff and things of that nature. But yes, you can catch me over there. We go live pretty regularly to talk about celebrity news and gossip, and my reviews are uploads. So y'all come on over there and check me out.
All right, you guys. So with that being said, we are out of here until the next Who Was Wrong. We'll holler at you guys later. See y'all later. Bye, y'all.